The following show is brought to you by Capital Financial and Insurance. And now it's time for best-selling author Coach Pete.
And welcome in, folks. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We're going to talk to New York Times best-selling author Ben Shapiro about his new book called Bullies. And this is something you really want to stay around for, a real good interview with him. We're also going to talk about diversification. We hear this term a lot. We're going to get into detail about what diversification is and how important it's going to be to you as you approach retirement, or if you're in retirement, making sure your money is where it's supposed to be and making sure your money's doing what it should be doing, as well as your advisor. Stay tuned. That and many more topics coming up today on the Financial Safari. Hi, this is Coach Pete.
And hello, I'm Peter Rashan.
And if you've got questions about how to safely and properly allocate your investments, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Financial Safari.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach Pete and his guests are some of the nation's top financial professionals. They make it their mission to guide investors through the treacherous jungle of the financial world, showing them how to grow, keep, and leave their money for their loved ones. Coach Pete is a frequent contributor to Fox Business Network, CNBC, The Wall Street Journal, and many other news outlets. They come to Coach Pete for their answers, and now so can you. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world on the Financial Safari.
Coming up on the Financial Safari, Coach Pete sits down and explains a specific case on how proper income planning helped out a couple, followed by your local trusted advisor helping explain what true diversification is. And later, Coach Pete talks with national best-selling author Ben Shapiro about his newest book, Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences America.
This is the Financial Safari. Walter Storholt here with you, and I'm joined by Coach Pete D'Arruda. We're going to try and make things easier to understand out there in the financial world. And, Coach, is it ever too late for somebody to get a true and proper financial plan set in place?
You know, Walt, a lot of people think it is. They think, hey, I missed the boat back in the 20s, 30s, or when I was 20, 30, or 40 years old, and it's too late for me. Or they get to retirement, they say, hey, I never had a retirement plan put together, therefore I don't need one. Walt, there's nothing further from the truth than that. It's never too early or too late to get a proper plan in place. And you need to meet a family, someone who becomes a member of your family. Your financial planner should have a relationship with a tax planner, an estate planner, an attorney, in other words, to help you make sure that when you're not here anymore, your money goes on like it should. Tax planner, making sure you're not giving too much money to Uncle Sam each and every year. And there are a lot of ways out there to minimize your taxable impact. But, Walt, it's never too late or too early, and I really think that everyone out there who's watching the show today or listening to us on the radio needs to have an income plan in place. Now, income plan is a new term here. For the last 5 years, we've heard it more and more in the financial industry, and there's actually new designations out there, and you want to get with an advisor who's studying the new income planning designations to make sure that you're being pointed in the right direction. Make sure your money is too, Walt. I mean, we've met a lot of friendly people out there. Bernie Madoff was a very friendly guy. Obviously, people were begging to meet with him. They were waiting in line to give him their money. He was a friendly guy. It was like everyone's grandfather. So friendliness is not the bottom line. Knowledge, friendliness, and thoughtfulness all work together. Make sure you trust your advisor thoroughly before you ever give them money to manage for you. And make sure that they're telling you the truth about all the different fees that they may be charging you. You know, we hear about these guys and gals that call themselves fee-only planners, and they act like that's a big deal. Well, I'm licensed to do that as well. As a fee-only planner, we can charge you a fee and put a plan together for you. But unfortunately, a lot of fee-only planners then put you in plans that have money coming out. They might not be making a fee, but somebody else that they have a deal with is making fees. And I always question, if the person supposedly isn't making any money on you, what are they doing in these gigantic skyscrapers out there? How are they making those payments? So everyone is making some money that you might not know about. I like total disclosure of any kind of income that's made off of you. If you don't have that, you need to get that. And get in writing. If your advisor tells you they're not charging you anything and not making anything off of you, make them put that in writing and sign it. I guarantee a lot of guys and gals won't sign that.
Folks, there are a lot of little tricks and tools in the financial world that you can either be fooled by or use to your advantage. That kind of information is available to you, but you need a guide to help you navigate through the financial world to uncover some of these things. That's what you get by working with someone with the Financial Safari. So to reach your local trusted advisor, you can call the number or visit our website as well at financialsafari.com. Great opportunity for you to do that today. Coach Pete's going to be back in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with much more here on the Financial Safari.
Well, Coach, always good to sit down here and catch up with you in a little more informal environment. I know you have some examples of people that you've worked with recently where I think you call it knowing your number in some cases. There are other phrases for this
call it
particular
solving
strategy.
for income,
Solving
John.
for income.
Yeah.
So exactly what does that mean? How does it look in somebody's life?
Well, people go through their life making money, and their income is solved for them by whoever they work for, sends them a paycheck. But sooner or later, you have to turn your paychecks into playchecks. In other words, you retire. So the money you've put aside has to pay you for the rest of your life. So I've got an example. I was jotting down some numbers and going through some case studies when I was in the financial lab the other day. Thought I'd share them with you and let
All
everyone
kinds of
eavesdrop
magic
on that.
happens in the financial
The financial
lab.
lab, you never know what's going to come out of there. But let's say husband and wife are age 60, so they're the same age, and they've got $200,000 put away in retirement, and they want to turn that money into income eventually. So if we have some time for them to, I guess, put the money away and wait, and in their case, let's say they have other money, but they have $200,000 that they want to have an income stream in 10 years. So when they're 70, they want this money to have grown, and they want income for life. So there's a way to look at that, and one of the vehicles we use when we have guaranteed income needs is we utilize a fixed annuity, fixed indexed annuity with something called an income step-up rider on there. People have heard about these in the past, but let me explain them in more detail. We're going to have the numbers come up on the screen as well. So they're age 60, they've got $200,000 they want to put into an annuity. Now, annuity has two sides when it has an income plan in place. The one side's called the accumulation account, and that's going to grow by a certain percentage or not grow at all, but it's not going to lose money over 10 years. So let's assume something very low. Let's assume a 2% growth rate per year. So after 10 years, that $200,000 would grow to $240,000 on what we call the accumulation side.
And that 2%, while low, is still better than anything you can get at the bank.
And the good thing is it doesn't matter what's happening in the market. So it's not going down, it's locking in each year, and it's going up. So that $240,000 is immediately available to them at a lump sum at age 70 because they left it alone for 10 years. They were age 60 now. Now, that's not going to get them an income, though. So what we do on the other side of this annuity, the same time that money's growing by 2%, we can put an annuity step-up rider in place, which will grow by a guaranteed 7% per year. Hypothetically now, that's what's available out there in the world. So 7% per year. At the end of those 10 years, that money would have grown to $400,000, which would then give you an income of $2,000 per month for the rest of both their lives.
Okay, well, can somebody say, I'm going to let this money grow at 7% for 10 years and then take that $400,000 in a lump sum? How does that work?
Now, see, that's why we have the accumulation side. The accumulation side has grown to $240,000. They can take that and go to Vegas.
Okay.
Or they can take that $400,000 and convert it into an income stream that neither one can outlive of $2,000 per month.
Well, how can they not outlive it? If you have $400,000 set aside for your lifetime income and you both live to be 105,
Yep.
how do they not run out
Well,
of
see,
income?
that's where the annuity companies have strived to improve each and every year, and they do it now where they give you a lifetime guarantee of income. It doesn't matter if you live to be 300, they'll still give you that $2,000 a month. But, John, there's one more thing there that Billy Mays used to say, but wait, there's more. If either one of them go to a long-term care facility, that $2,000 a month will now step up to $4,000 each and every month for up to 5 years. Now, let's say they stay in a long-term care facility longer than 5 years, then the amount per month will go back down to $2,000. So they won't exhaust their money. It'll keep going it'll keep coming to them each and every month for the rest of their lives.
And that's just contractually guaranteed. That's what you sign up for,
And
no matter how long you live.
I
Your
know.
income's guaranteed.
And we use these in a lot of different plans, especially when people want that income they never have to worry about, and they want to know. Here, we're doing a crystal ball type account. We're looking 10 years into the future, and we're saying based on you putting $200,000 away right now, you will get, not maybe, but you will get $2,000 per month for the rest of both your lives. and it will double to $4,000 per month. If you want to find out more about this, I recommend you call the number on your screen. We can customize examples for your age and for the amount of money you have put aside.
Still to come on the Financial Safari, your local trusted advisor helps explain what true diversification is. And later, Coach Pete talks with national best-selling author Ben Shapiro about his newest book, Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences America. And now, Coach Pete has a very special offer just for you.
As a veteran watcher of the show, you're entitled to a no-cost initial consultation with an advisor near you. All you have to do, as quickly as possible, pick your phone up, call the number you see on your screen, and as soon as next week, you could be meeting with a local trusted advisor in your area who will help you customize your own financial plan, making sure that you allow for that income needed in retirement, making sure that your money doesn't have too much risk attached to it. Folks, the most important time to figure out you have too much risk is before your money goes down. So get a diversification customization plan put together for you. Call the number you see on your screen right now, and we'll see you soon in the office. Is there a built-in bias in the financial planning area, in the community of financial planning? Unfortunately, yes. The bias exists. The reason why it exists is there are many people out there who have preconceived notions over what they want to sell you, what they want to put you in, and then there's a bias in the community standard, where you want to be. If you ever watched a game of tug of war, you have two teams pulling like crazy. The flag never goes anywhere. You put a lot of effort in and nothing gets accomplished. Income planning, unfortunately, is that way if you get with the wrong advisor. Income planning is a specialized technique, a specialized industry, making sure that people get the proper plan in place for the proper time of their life. How do you know who to trust in the financial planning community as it relates to income planning? Well, you have to trust yourself first. You have to trust yourself to make the right decision. You need to make sure to collect different opinions and see how those opinions fit your particular situation. The best choices always exist when you get 2 or 3 different opinions, because then you can weigh them. You can meet with your family. You can look at the biases that exist out there, and you can get educated in the true financial planning process. It's a lot easier to eliminate biases when you know all the facts. And if you get all the facts, you can eliminate some of the misconceptions that exist out there. If you fall for the misconceptions, the only person in the long run who loses is you. That's why we always agree there are biases in the financial planning community, and the secret and the goal for you should be to identify those early so you can get a plan that you can retire with, a plan that you can trust, a plan that you can be safe and comfortable with. So it's very important to get that education and make sure you can isolate, identify, and eliminate the biases that aren't fair.
Welcome back to the Financial Safari, your weekly show that looks inside that complex financial world. It's time to get some guidance from Coach Pete once again. I'm Walter Storholt alongside Coach Pete. And, Coach, let's answer a viewer question. This comes to us from James in the Raleigh area. He saw us on Fox, and he has a question for you today. He says that he's intrigued by the idea of fixed-indexed annuities. He's heard about them on the show before, and he wants to know if he were to invest in one. By the way, he would plan to let the money grow for 10 years. He's currently 58 years old. If I need to take a chunk out or I need to start taking income before that 10 years is up, what happens?
It's a great question, James. And there's a lot of, we call it annuity confusion out there in the world today. And there are some real good annuities out there, but there are a lot of real bad ones too. And so the old saying, the baby gets thrown out with the bathwater, I don't know how they ever came up with that saying, by the way.
It's a terrible saying.
The drain is only so big, so it must have been a very small baby. But let's talk about annuities. There's 4 different kinds of annuities out there. There are a lot of them that are loaded and infested with fees, expenses, commissions. And those are not good, by the way. But there are some other ones, some new inventions actually in the income planning world that let you build your money for a lifetime of guaranteed income in the future. James mentioned he wanted to hold it for 10 years. In 10 years, the average income rider that we attach to these annuities now would double the amount you started with for a lifetime income in the future. So it's a good way to have guaranteed growth without having to worry about the market going up and down. But if James needed some money out, many annuity contracts let you take 10% of the balance out each and every year. which is pretty neat, or more if you have an emergency situation, health related. Of course, if you die, every penny you put in goes on to your next of kin, so the money doesn't just disappear. So when we look at annuities, though, we have to figure out how much you're going to need in the future, and we can look backwards. We can work backwards from the future and decide how much you need to put away now to give you a certain amount of income in a certain number of years. We can customize these annuities more than we ever dreamed possible, even 10 years ago. So if you heard bad things about annuities 5 or 10 years ago, you haven't heard about the new ones that are out there today. Now, I'm not saying all of them are good. Matter of fact, there's probably about 80% of them, in my opinion, aren't. But there's 20% that are awesome, Walt, and James needs to meet with a competent advisor. We also have something called an annuity fee disclosure deposition that I recommend everyone fills out before they ever get into an annuity.
I think it's really important.
And I'm holding it up for the camera right now. We'll post it on the screen. If you want to get a copy, just call the number on your bottom of the screen. If you have a current annuity, get your current advisor who sold this to you to make sure to fill this sheet out. There are a lot of questions on here. They have to answer the fees, expenses, and commission questions and sign it. And there you can get the truth. You know, the truth will set you free, they say, and the truth is needed a lot more in the financial world. We believe in truth. That's why we have an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and that we are with the National Ethics Association as well, recognized as one of the most outstanding planning firms in the nation, because we tell the truth. Hey, it's not for everybody, Walt, but it's for a lot more people than are in annuities right now if they get the right one.
There's a lot of information that you need to sort through, folks, and it really helps to have somebody on your side. So we're going to give you the opportunity to contact your local trusted advisor to help you find the right solutions to your financial problems. All you have to do is call or go online at financialsafari.com. Lots of great information for you. We're going to talk more about it coming up on the show here in just a moment. Stay tuned. You're watching the Financial Safari.
This week, I think it's important to talk about diversification. Can you explain the true importance of true diversification?
Coach, diversification is pretty vital in all aspects of your life, not just your finances. Think about nutrition, for instance. I mean, they make a food pyramid for a reason. You need to have a little bit of everything, and you need to have the right amounts of everything. If you have a well-balanced diet, generally, you'll be more healthy. But if you're somebody who treats ranch dressing like most people treat oxygen, well, that's going to have negative effects on your health. So diversification, just as important in nutrition as it is in your finances. There's actually a pyramid, more of a triangle when it comes to finances, showing the 3 different types of behaviors of money. So you have growth, you have liquidity, and you have safety. You need to have all aspects, those 3 aspects, throughout your portfolio, but you have to understand that no one investment can provide more than 2 of those aspects of money for you. So you need to have a mixture of different things in your portfolio, and that really gives you the true diversification that you need.
Interesting answer. Well, then, do you think that most people you meet with understand the true importance of diversification?
No, Coach, I would say that most people don't understand what true diversification is all about. For instance, we had somebody in here just last week who had 15 different mutual funds. He had a portfolio of nearly $1 million, but the only thing he had was these 15 different mutual funds. His belief was, I'm diversified. I have all of these different mutual funds. But the point is, no, he wasn't. Going back to that triangle that I talked about a little while ago with the 3 different behaviors of money, growth, safety, and liquidity, he only had money in the stock market. He may have been diversified, probably even over-diversified within that particular asset class, the stock market, but he did not have diversification throughout his portfolio. He didn't have any safety. He had growth and liquidity, but he had a ton of risk. So while he was diversified in that one asset class, not in his portfolio as a whole. And that's something that's not uncommon at all. People think, well, I have a lot of different stocks or different types of stocks or different mutual funds, therefore I'm diversified. No, that's not true diversification.
Well, great answers, and I look forward to speaking with you next week here on the Financial Safari.
Good to see you, Coach Pete. Always a pleasure.
Talk to one of our local experts, and we have a special offer for you on today's show. Call in the next 30 minutes. We're going to custom design for an easy-to-understand financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. There's no obligation or cost for this initial review for all callers who have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. If you meet those qualifications, here's what you can expect. First, we'll run a fee report to help you untangle what it's costing you to work with your current planner or advisor. We'll show you how to protect your investments and keep more of your money in your accounts. Next, we'll perform a tax analysis to show you how you could possibly be reducing your taxes and increase your cash flow. And finally, we'll create a customized lifetime income plan using proven strategies and techniques that could turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we'll take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So, for all callers who call in the next 30 minutes, a comprehensive financial review that we're offering with no obligation. Just call the number below right now. Coming up on the Financial Safari, Coach Pete talks with national best-selling author Ben Shapiro about his newest book, Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences America, and a special message from Coach Pete.
It is now time for Pete on the Street.
Pete on the street.
Let's see what this person has to say.
Pete on the street.
Pete on the street. And today I'm talking to Al, and I'm going to ask Al a couple questions. Al, what do you think about, what's your opinion on retirement?
I like it.
Why do you like it?
Because I earned it, and because I get to be with my lovely wife here, and because we get to do a lot of traveling, and it's really nice.
So in retirement, to make retirement more comfortable, we need money. And is it important to you to make sure that some of your money is in a safe place now that you're in retirement?
Yes, I'm rather conservative in investments. I prefer safety over taking big risks and potentially large returns, because there's a downside to that.
Have you ever been lied to before in the financial world?
Oh, yes. One guy about 4 years ago, he was promising us like 16% returns after taxes and stuff like that, and we went back and analyzed that, and it just didn't add up.
Yeah, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Pete on the street.
And welcome back in, folks. Again, this is the Financial Safari, and we have a very special guest this week. We have author Ben Shapiro. He's author of the national best-selling book, Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences America. And he's joining us from L.A. Ben, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, hey, the pleasure's on this side of the microphone. This is an outstanding book, and it really, you address a lot of the things in this book that I've been feeling for a long time. And I want you to tell folks why you decided to write the book, and what are 3 or 4 of the main points of the book.
I decided to write the book because in the aftermath of President Obama's election, the first time, there was a lot of hope in the country that we were going to get beyond the kind of partisan politics that we've been subject to in the past, that we were going to unite rather than divide based on race. We were going to come together as a nation, and we were going to really end the demonization of our opposition. Instead, President Obama has been the largest bully president in American history. He's used his race in order to try and provoke Americans. He's used class warfare in order to try and provoke Americans. And he's really pushed this agenda of his by saying that anybody who disagrees with him is morally blameworthy. There's something wrong with those of us who disagree with him. We're bad people. We're nasty people. And it's grown worse and worse over time. Every single issue. It's not that the left has a playbook anymore. They threw out the playbook a long time ago. They actually just have a play. All they have is one play, and they keep running it repeatedly. And that is, if you disagree with them, you don't disagree with them based on honest political differences. It's because you are morally deficient. If you disagree on gun control, it's because you don't care enough about the kids of Sandy Hook. If you disagree on immigration, it's because you hate Hispanic people. If you disagree on economics, it's because you hate the poor and you stand for the rich. That is the death of deliberative politics in this country. It's disgusting, it's despicable, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, it's free speech unless they don't agree with what you say.
Exactly. And this is why we lose elections. It's because we don't fight back. The reason that Mitt Romney lost in 2012 is very simple. If you came to this election cycle knowing nothing about either of the two candidates, the picture that Mitt Romney was painting of Barack Obama was that Barack Obama was a nice guy, believes in the Constitution, believes in the Declaration, good family man, really just a solid fellow who's not a very good president. And then the picture that was painted of Mitt Romney by the Obama campaign is world's most evil person, straps dogs to the top of cars, right? He's going to put you all back in chains, has binders full of women because he hates them, fires his employees so that their wives will later die of cancer. It was a character attack through and through from the Obama campaign, whereas Romney wanted to stop policy. Well, character is going to trump policy every single time. And the problem is that we continue to play this game where we act like the other side is reasonable even as they call us evil, which is about as stupid a game as you can possibly play. Because the fact is this: if we call them reasonable and they call us evil, even we are saying that reasonable people call us evil.
That's a good point. And, Ben, you went to UCLA, but you also went to Harvard Law School for your law degree, and I think that's where Obama got his law degree, right?
Oh, yeah, no, he and I are, we share an alma mater, which, makes me sort of ashamed of my alma mater.
Yeah.
But obviously the Harvard law background provides, it teaches you how to fight the left because you really learn what they're thinking.
Yeah, so no better place than to learn where the left's coming up with their ideas now. But that brings up a question. It's a tremendous machine they put together, and again, like you say, they call you a bully, and they bully you and they call you a bully at the same time. It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. Well, that's their whole tactic. What the left really stands for in America, and what they believe, is that they stand for all of the victimized minority groups: blacks, gays, Jews, women. All of them are supported by the left. What that means is that if we oppose their agenda, it's not because we oppose their agenda, it's because we don't like any of those minority groups. And so we are the real bullies, and so we don't deserve to be part of the debate. This is their entire tactic, and you've seen it on every element of the leftist agenda, from immigration to gun control. And it really is, it's a despicable thing. They are the real bullies, but they try to claim that we're the bullies so that they never have to talk to us.
Folks, his name is Ben Shapiro. Again, the book, national bestseller, Bullies: How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences America. We're going to have a link to Ben's website as well as a copy of his book, or a copy of the cover of his book on our website, and this interview in entirety at financialsafari.com. I urge you to go out and get a copy of this book. This is informational reading, which is so vitally important to America's and your own financial future. Ben, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks a lot.
And folks, we'll be right back. And again, as always, this time has gone by so fast on the show. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Folks, don't forget, the most important thing you can do is see what's going on in your particular situation. Get a customized plan. Get those money silos put together properly, making sure that you have the right money in the right places to get you to and through retirement. We'll join you next week on the Financial Safari.
Information provided is for illustrative purposes only and does not constitute investment, tax, or legal advice. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Neither Peter J. D'Arruda or his guests are liable for the usage of information discussed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Individuals should thoroughly review the contract for specific details of the product features and costs. Income payments and withdrawals from deferred annuities are generally taxable as ordinary income in the year they are taken.